Now, listen, I've been promising to tell you this story all day, so I'm going to finally get to it, even though we've only got like about 2 minutes before the news comes on. So, my son decides, because his birthday's in January and his brother's birthday is in August, that it would be nice to go away, because he never gets to go away, because every time his brother has a birthday in August, we're always somewhere like Greece or Turkey or Spain. I mean, it's so bad now where he goes, where are we going for my birthday this year, Dad? You know, and you go, well, maybe we won't go anywhere this year. So we decided to go to Centre Parcs, okay? And I had to join them because their mother and they drove up from Sussex and I was working on Friday, so I went and got a train. That was the first problem because I had to get to a place called Brandon in somewhere like, it's near Norwich, but it's in Suffolk. I can't explain.
Heard of it.
I've never heard of it either. When I came back from that station finally yesterday, I realised why, because it's literally, there's nothing there. There's that one platform.
Is it a cute little kind of
No, it's
railway
not
station?
cute. No, it's a horrible little ghastly town with nothing in it.
Oh.
And a horrible railway station, right, with no ticket office or anything. Anyway, so I get to King's Cross and I have to take a train to Cambridge, which reminds me always of Rowan Atkinson in that sketch that he used to do, not 9 o'clock news. Anyway, so I get to King's Cross and all the Cambridge trains are delayed, every single one, from about an hour before. And there's lots of people standing around. I go up to the so-called information desk of, King's Cross railway station. And there's a bloke kind of lying literally supine across the desk, quite a large man. People asking him questions like, where's the 13:55 train to Cambridge? It's disappeared. Oh, it'll be back in a minute. Are there any trains going to Cambridge? Oh, we don't know. Is the 2:15 train to Cambridge going? Hasn't got a driver at the moment. And it was all this. And I'm standing there going, look, I have to get to Cambridge at some point this afternoon. Are there any trains going? You can go from Liverpool Street, he goes. I said, well, I'm not at Liverpool Street. I'm at King's Cross. Your ticket's valid to Liverpool Street, he says. I said, yeah, but I don't want to go to Liverpool Street. I want to go from here. I just want to know, is there going to be a train? As we're talking, suddenly there's a mad rush I sense around me because the board has just changed and said that this train is now going to Cambridge in a minute. So they don't go, in 5 minutes it's going. It's already half an hour late. This is how the railways are now run in this country, and I'm going to start blaming people like you because you'll know more about this and why it's so bad.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah. And so I rushed to get onto this train, which is, of course, completely rammed to the gunnels. Standing room only, like a Jubilee line train in the rush hour. Everybody's standing up. People have got rucksacks, bags, cases, and it's like that all the way to a place called Hitchin, which is about 45 minutes out of London. Finally, I got a seat. I get to Cambridge, where I'm supposed to then catch another train to this place called Brandon, right? But we all have to stagger up the stairs, get downstairs to the new platform where this other train is going from. And I said, oh, that's the train to Brandon. The guy goes, yeah, but you can't get on it. I said, why is that? He said, because it's about to go. I said, yeah, but it's not going yet. Can I go on? No, it's not safe. It's too dangerous. You can't get on it yet. You just have to wait. So the train disappears. I say to the guy, when's the next train? It's an hour. See, you're laughing. I'm going, what? So you want me to wait here for an hour?
Parcs is not organised for people to go by train. It's clearly for the poshos to turn up in a car, right?
This is what the mother of my children said. I said, yeah, well, unfortunately, I was working and you couldn't come into London to pick me up because you were going around the M25. My car happens to be being fixed at the moment, so I didn't have one. So you should be able to get from point A to point B in this country, surely, in less than a day and a half.
Well, that's what. Obviously, they're getting in the places where you don't have great connections.
Well, anyway, so
cheap land.
So
maybe.
I said to the guys, I can't really wait. I said, I don't want to wait here for an hour. I said, anyway, that train was supposed to be a connecting train to one that was due to leave later from King's Cross than the one I got on. So how come it didn't wait for me? He went, I can't explain that. I said, well, what do you want me to do now? He said, well, you could take another train to Ely, which you could then change there and take a train to Norwich and get off at Thetford, which is very near Brandon. I went, okay. I'll do that then.
See, my argument right now is that there's nothing wrong with Centre Parcs. It's just the fact you turned up grumpy. I'm right. You're the most miserable man on radio.
I did turn up grumpy. I did. The story is not over yet. I'm going to continue it after this because it's time for the news headlines with Rachel Jewell. Now, let me finish my long story about getting up to Centre Parcs, even before I've told you about how much it cost when I got there, right? I'm now
You were right grumpy, let's face it.
Yeah, well, because I'm now standing at a train stop in Cambridge, and they said to me, why don't you get this train to Norwich? So I said, fine. So I waited about 20 minutes. I get on the train to Norwich and get off, as they suggest, at Ely, right, which is quite a sort of mid-sized station, I would say, with about 6 platforms. At which point I'm supposed to get this other train to Thetford, right? So I arrive at Ely and I say to a guy, where does the next train go to Thetford? Is it that one in 10 minutes? He went, no, that one's been cancelled. And at this point, I'm thinking, somebody's doing this deliberately. Am I being followed around by a camera?
This is your promo for your show today.
This is like, am I now being followed around by somebody who's just throwing, things in the way of my trip? And And then I noticed that there was another train to Liverpool Lime Street for this place, also cancelled. So the people who are running the railways in this country clearly have no clue about what they're doing. They simply cancel trains whenever they feel like it.
This is Sunday service. What do you expect?
No, this was Friday.
Oh, this is on the way there.
This was Friday. This is on the way there.
Oh gosh.
I mean, no wonder I had a bad time. I arrived there, I said to this guy, well, when's the next one? He said, oh, it's about 45 minutes. So I thought, well, I'm not going to, and this was not a start. It had one little kind of coffee place where you could go and huddle with about 25 other people at a coffee bar and stand clutching a warm cup. And I thought to myself, I cannot wait here another 45 minutes. I was supposed to have got there like about an hour before this. Already I'm late. And so I walk outside. I say to a guy, do you know where Centre Parcs is? And he goes, pardon? I said, do you know where Centre Parcs is? It's not very far from here, is it? He went, have you got the postcode? There's a taxi driver in Ely. Which is about 40 minutes from Centre Parcs. So I had to find the, booking, which was on my phone. Thank God they had a signal. Otherwise, I think I might have killed somebody at this point. Give him the postcode. He says, it's about 40 minutes away. I said, OK, how much would that cost me? What, in a taxi? I said, yeah, you're sitting in a taxi. How much would it cost? Clearly, nobody had ever asked him. He went, and he got some paper. He said, about £45. I said, fine, done. Would you please can you now take me there? Oh, yeah, all right then. And, of course, it ended up costing about £55. We got to Centre Parcs about 45 minutes later. There's a queue of cars going in because they've got a sort of, Gestapo-like, checkpoint where you have to sign in and gives them your numbers so that you go to the right cabin. Unbelievable.
Or some of us might think that's quite efficient, Mike.
Well, it wasn't efficient because it was a traffic jam. So I said to the guy, I'll tell you what, I'm getting out here and I'm going to walk. You should have seen the looks I was getting because nobody walks.
Yeah.
I'm walking past all these, M-Class Mercedes with bikes on the back, with kids, seats for the bikes. Then there's a couple of Volvos. I know you've got one. A couple of other sort of, people carriers, children screaming. It was like a scene from some horrendous Hieronymus Bosch middle-class hellhole.
I once got refused to be served at McDonald's drive-thru because I didn't have a car. So I came back with 4 of my friends pretending that the person that was serving me was the only one that couldn't see my car, and the rest of us were in our seats, winding the window down, ready to order.
Did you sit like as if you were on a horse?
Yeah, I think we'd had a few, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we
just
did
as well you weren't in a car then.
We did the whole order. Yeah, we did the whole order. Kind of. Hold on a minute, I can't hear anything. The kids in the back are talking. Right. Shut up, kids! I need to order the Big Macs. And the bloke actually, I think he served us just to get rid of us because he thought we were completely and utterly bonkers. But yes, so they're all queuing up in this kind of very efficient manner, as I would like to call it.
Yeah.
You were the rebel early on.
So I was just walking with my bag over my shoulder, walking towards the checkpoint. And of course, I'm now on the phone to my other half saying, so where are you then? Because, it's not good enough just to get to Centre Parcs. The whole thing is about 400 acres of sprawling middle-class lodges and, adventure centres, hot tubs, skating rinks, swimming pools. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Well, you say that as long as you know where you're going. And you got a car. So I said to her, well, I'm coming in through the main entrance, right? And as I'm talking to her, this guy stops, excuse me. I said, what? He said, have you checked in? I'm like, no, I haven't checked in, but my family have checked in. They're already here. I'm going to meet them. Oh, no, you'll have to check in. I'm like, well, where do you want me to check in? I've walked past the car window. You want me to go in and queue up behind one of the cars? Oh, no, I'll take you in. He was actually quite nice. We go in, he looks me up, he says I'm all right to go. I walk in through, and I said, well, where do I go now?
I find that reassuring, because they won't let any old soul in the park. You've got to pay to play.
No, you have to be white, and you have to be in a car. I mean, I didn't meet anybody up there who was not white. It was like a scene from some kind of weird movie from the 1940s, Forget about
a certain class
cultural
to it,
diversity. Yeah. Well, no, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like that. There should be people there. I mean, I think because it was in East Anglia, it was particularly weird. I don't mean that East Anglia is a weird place, but I didn't see anybody there that I would have wanted to spend any time with.
You couldn't wait to get on that great train service.
I'll tell you what, when I got on the train back, which went very well, bizarrely, the trains to East Anglia are no good on a Friday, but great on a Sunday. The rest of the country is the other way around.
Very weird.
It's very weird.
I bet you had some great activities, though. I can understand you're the kind of man that would like cycling, swimming, really good sporty kind of stuff.
You pay £100 plus for 4 bikes to rent for the period while you're there, right?
Right.
The kids decided they wanted to go swimming, so we said, I think they're old enough to do it now because it's quite safe. One of them forgot to take the lock with him for his bike, right? Guess what? His bike got stolen.
In Centre Parcs?
In Centre Parcs.
One of their own bikes?
As apparently people who don't fancy paying for bikes just go and try and find bikes that are not locked up. I mean, what sort of people are they? And then steal them.
There's an undercurrent here of criminal activity
Criminal
at
activity.
Cinter Parcs.
So they came back in the security vehicle after the security people rang me, because not only did they lose a bike, the other one, the 10-year-old, lost his jacket.
There seems to be a recurring problem here. Your children lose a lot of things.
They do.